Hi everyone and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's time for another Super Skills Saturday and today is all about personal style. There's a lot to fit into this episode. I'm going to be talking about my own personal style, how to develop and refine your own personal style, as well as looking at the cultural phenomenon that is snog, marry, avoid. As the younger sister, I was very much the hand-me-down kid when I was small. When I got older, I used my clothes as a way to express myself. 17-year-old me was a goth. I don't mean the persona, just the style. My mum and I watched NCIS and we loved Abby. I adopted her personal style as my own and mum bought me a killer pair of boots. I dyed my hair black and pretty much lived in an actual cat collar. I also had a red check skirt that I wore pretty much all of the time. My new style was definitely a talking point amongst my friends, but I didn't care because I felt so good. When I got into my 20s, my personal style changed. I was very much into graphic tees and cargo trousers. Anything that had something nostalgic printed on it, I wore, like my Moomin t-shirt and my Pokeball t-shirt. If it wasn't already printed on a t-shirt, I got it printed on a t-shirt. I did, however, have an embarrassing incident with this particular personal style. My friend and I went to China and flew from Beijing to Xi'an. When we landed, we were told we were going straight to the theatre instead of going the following night like planned due to it being closed for a memorial service. I had a really nice outfit picked out, but that was in my suitcase already en route to the hotel. So instead, I attended a lavish 7-course meal and theatre show in my Sylvester and Tweety top. I have never lived that down. When I hit my 30s, I put on weight, most notably in the butt area, so things I wore previously like play suits and skirts were now super inappropriately too short. I changed my personal style again to adapt to my new body. Now I'm more into smart casual, shirts and blazers and long dresses that cover my butt. I no longer have graphic tees, but I didn't want to lose all of my personality, so I have these kind of tees now. They're still cute and quirky, but they're much more subtle. I'm still very much a child at heart, so I always like to add a little bit of fun to my outfits. For example, if I was going to wear this, I would pair it with my Totoro bag, or for this outfit, I would put on my Harry Potter shoes. If, however, I wanted to wear a graphic tee, I would put on a pair of heels to maintain the tone of my personal style. Your personal style will adapt and change over the course of your life, and it's all about rolling with that change while still maintaining your personality. Find the essence of you and take that as part of your style throughout your life. For me, it's colour, fun and prints, but that doesn't mean everything in my wardrobe is loud and in your face. When I was a goth, even though the things I wore were predominantly black, there was always a pop of colour in there somewhere, usually my stripy socks. A lot of people struggle with their identity at one point or another, and expressing yourself creatively through your clothes can really put you on the path to discovering yourself. People say, oh, that's just a phase. But if that phase helps you overcome adversity or builds your confidence, then that's all that matters. So that's going to bring me on to the 2008 TV show Snog, Marry, Avoid. This show took over-the-top people and got the public to judge them based on their personal style. These poor people would be dragged in front of Pod, a really rude computer who would give them a make-under to show them their natural beauty. The transformations were extreme, and I'm going to be looking at some of the people that featured on this show before and after their make-unders, and discussing how successful I think Pod was in maintaining their personal style. First up, we have Mark, a 27-year-old body modification enthusiast, something he tells to Pod after she asks, "What are you?" He explains that his look is based on being different from the rest of the world. I find this quite common for people who feel like they don't fit in with those around them. Interestingly, Mark also stated that he's not sure if he'll have this style forever, as the future is a long way off. Mark's personal style will no doubt evolve over time, but it's obvious that his body modification is what makes him comfortable with his identity, at least for the time being. One make-under later and he's in a suit. Yeah, no, this look completely strips him of all his personal style. It's good that he still has some of his piercings in, but he's not a suit person. I can see that straight away. Mark doesn't like his new look because it makes him feel too corporate. If I was to make him under, I would go with something like this. A leather jacket is a statement piece and is a more refined adaptation of the style he came in with. Maybe not skinny jeans for Mark because he came in with such baggy trousers on, but the colour is dark enough without being black. The boots elevate the look without being too corporate. Sorry Pod, but you failed. Now we have 19-year-old model Sophie. She has hair extensions, fake boobs, fake tan, fake nails. It's a pretty common look on this show. A lot of teenagers go through the stage of putting forward a fake look because they think it's what men want. But the kind of people they attract are not the right kind. But at 19, most people aren't trying to attract a husband or a wife. They're trying to find their own footing in the world. Pod gives her a make-under and she hates it. I tend to agree. Yes, her makeup is so much better, but the rest of it is not good. Let's start with the hair. Sophie already said she likes big hair, and while her new hair is lovely, it isn't her. I'd have given her something with waves and more texture, rather than the flat, straight do she ended up with. The dress is all wrong. The material screams middle-aged woman, and the colour is too washed out for someone who sees herself as a princess. I'd have put her in something like this, which still shows off a bit of cleavage and is longer length, but is still girly. Sophie hated doing the catwalk because she didn't feel herself, which is the biggest crime in personal style. Jessica, who is only 17, describes herself as an abstract piece of art. Her personal style comes from Japanese streetwear. Her story is a little sad. She says that no one in her school liked her even when she dressed like them, so she decided to dress for herself. This is a classic case of clothing being used to express a stifled personality. Her parents say the usual, it's just a phase. Jessica gets dragged in front of Pod, and I do agree that much fakery on someone so young is a bit much, but it clearly helps her cope, and none of it is irreversible. After her make-under, Jessica is not impressed and says it's a nice look, but it would look better on someone else. I 100% agree. So this is what I would have done. I like her hair, it's gorgeous, but it goes back to stifling her personality. I would have dyed it white, silver, or maybe rose gold, with a small flower barrette, which is a more subtle version of what she came in with. Seeing as Jessica is very influenced by Japanese street fashion, I would have put her in a Lolita-style dress, which would maintain her personal style without being over the top. Danny Gogo models himself after Nicki Minaj. At 19, he's a local celebrity in Brighton. He likes drawing attention to himself, and his favourite part of his look is his pink hair. His sister is embarrassed by him, and his mum worries that people are laughing at him. Danny admits he isn't confident with the real him and uses the fakery as a mask to attract a boyfriend. Unlike the others, Danny actually likes his transformation, stating he looks dateable. I'm glad he likes it, but it's a little dull. I like the bottom half of the outfit, the trousers and the shoes, but a plain white shirt doesn't say much for someone with a personality like Danny's. I would have put him in a patterned shirt and kept the pink hair, but toned it down and refined it. 17-year-old Claire describes herself as half drag queen, half 80s. She takes inspiration from cupcakes, drag queens, crystals, and clouds. Her boyfriend says her style is weird, while her mum says she has guts. Pod makes her under, and what is this dress? What are those shoes? This is just a disaster, and Claire hates it too. I really like the purple hair, so I would have kept it on her, just tidied it up a bit and added some curls or waves. A jumpsuit or a playsuit would have maintained her personal style much better, with some vintage-inspired heels. I know the show was going for shock value with total transformations, but it stripped away any personality or style these people had. But what did I expect from such a trashy show? So once again, I hope this video has been helpful to you and you have a better idea of how to create your own personal style. I'd love to chat to you in the comments below or come say hi on Twitter. Remember to rock your own personality and be comfortable in your own style. I'll speak to you soon, and thanks for watching.